We talk about the WWE, and I'm going to segue here to NXT, to the developmental brand, which has been on fire in the last year. In fact, we saw on Friday Night SmackDown, it was emanating from Orlando, Florida. We had a little bit of appearances from a few of the NXT stars. The NXT World Champion, Ethan Page. We'll get to AEW in a bit. The NXT Women's Championship. Got all this AEW on my mind now. The NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez, as well as Trick Williams, made an appearance at Friday Night SmackDown. But one thing that has been so refreshing is the inclusion, the partnership of TNA Pro Wrestling and NXT. And I've seen some criticism from the online community, of course, professional wrestling fans. Daniel Bryan probably said it best back in 2019, where he referred to pro wrestling fans as fickle. Because one point you're hot, one point you're cold, hard to please them all, right? Some people are criticizing the TNA partnership, especially when it comes to the usage, or in some cases, some people believe the overusage of one Joe Hendry. I'm a fan. He certainly got over with me in TNA. He got even more over with me in NXT. But there are some who believe, not only do they believe in Joe Hendry, but they believe that he's been overused in NXT. He's practically an NXT superstar at this point, and I wouldn't be surprised if and when his contract expires with TNA, how is he not going to join NXT? The transition is right there. Seamlessly. He'll just fit right in. When you look at NXT and the way it's currently constructed, it favors that, though. To have this influx of talent, young talent, new talent, and a way to be a feeder onto the main roster that is Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. I wish Joe Hendry nothing but the best in terms of his career with TNA. But you can see there's a ceiling there when it comes to TNA. A couple of weeks ago on the podcast, I think the most accurate comparison I can make when it comes to the pro wrestling promotions today, WWE is the machine. It is Disney. It is the main source of entertainment when it comes to professional wrestling. It is the end all, be all. It is where the best want to be. AEW, where the best wrestle, that's their slogan, I think is very much in the line of WCW Nitro, with a lot of the good aspects of WCW Nitro. But a lot of times it has the superstars, the wrestlers that were made in WWE, that were highlighted in WWE, and bring their name over to AEW. Guys like a Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, Chris Jericho, but still having their homegrown talent who have been able to get over on their own. MJF, Darby Allin, Britt Baker, Adam Page, so on and so forth. That is your second biggest promotion within professional wrestling. And at number 3, TNA, the indie, they're not really an indie. They do have a television deal and they have their whole, TNA Plus, their own network essentially, but I see them as ECW, that third promotion in professional wrestling. And ECW was a feeder essentially to the WWE between 97 and 2000. And I think we've reached that point now with TNA and WWE. History is bound to repeat itself. And that's what we've gotten here. I, for one, am not tired of Joe Hendry just yet. Things can change. But it gives me something to look forward to. But I do think we need to see different faces being included in terms of the partnership. I would like to see other individuals. Can you imagine seeing a guy like Nick Nemeth, who was known as Dolph Ziggler in the WWE, in that partnership? Moose is definitely someone. Can you imagine? Real quick, Moose versus Obafemi. It won't happen because I think Obafemi's way too young. They don't want to put someone with so much promise against someone who's already established. But Obafemi versus Moose, man, you want to talk about hard-hitting matchups. That'd be fantastic. That would absolutely do it for me. But nonetheless, with NXT and its evolution, really, we look at the TV deal with CW on the horizon, and the first 2 episodes will be emanating from Chicago with a guest appearance from CM Punk, and the second being St. Louis with an appearance from Randy Orton. Big things on the horizon for NXT. So excited. So looking forward to it.